So here we are at Paris City Hall. C'est Hôtel de Ville de Paris. You can see it from a distance there. Renaissance building. This whole area is called Place de la Grève. You can see the Renaissance features, the mansard roof. It's that slate gray triangular type roof. There's the belfry, the bell tower. You can see the 3 levels of different styles of columns, the pediments, the sculptures, all neo-Renaissance, Renaissance, so neoclassical. I don't know if you can see all of the pigeons that are flying around right now. Oh good, I can get closer. We have to get out of the crosswalk because the bus is occupying the crosswalk right now. So do our best to not get hit. You can see some of the pigeons. There's a waterfall here, all along here. You can see the bicycles you can rent, bicycles and scooters. The green are pedal bicycles. The blue are electric, so you just have to pay for it with your credit card. You have this little machine here where you learn where you can purchase the rental. And so this is City Hall. This is where the mayor of Paris works. Currently, that is Anne Hidalgo.
Sorry.
So you get to hear the bells, and we're on this big esplanade. This esplanade has a ton of history. On this esplanade, there were executions, there were hangings, there were people guillotined. All kinds of blood has been spilled on this esplanade. This is also an esplanade where people gather when they're upset about something. So if they are upset about taxes, or if they're upset about something work-related, or about the government, or about right now, there are many people who are mad about having to be vaccinated or losing their jobs, and not being able to get into places and having to wear their masks, because there are a lot of anti-vaxxers in France also. So they gather here and they start their marches from here a lot of times. And I thought I'd walk you over here also to the Olympic signs, because of course 2024 Olympics are coming up, as you well know. And so the French are very proud of having won this, and they know that this is really going to be incredible for their city. So there's their Olympic sign right there, the Paris Olympics logo right there. And as you can see, there are just all kinds of sculptures of people who have contributed to the history of Paris. They have your typical French lampadaire, they call that. And these, there you go, you got all kinds of mythological statues, but also the people who contributed to Paris. For instance, this guy right here, if I do a close-up, you can see that's Voltaire. So there are many writers, which is something I love about France, many writers who get statues. It's not always just politicians. So this esplanade, sometimes in the summertime, it becomes a big volleyball court, and there are a lot of public gatherings here. Things that are in the deep winter. It's only November right now, but in the winter, I'm sure in December, and then probably through to February, there's going to be an ice skating rink. So there you have it. It's still a place where you have a lot of politicians who come into work. Of course, number one being the mayor of Paris, who is currently a woman named Anne Hidalgo. Very involved in making the city greener. And you can see why. Look at all of this traffic. It is quite rough. So here we've made it to the Seine, and I don't know if you remember what these little book stands are called. They're the bouquinistes. going to show you around this area here. So you've got, I guess that's the police. Clearly in a rush to get somewhere because they're weaving in and out of traffic. And I think you can see one of the towers of Notre Dame back there. And we're really in the heart of things right here. And of course, if you look down here, you can see the Seine. So here she is. And here's one of the berges that has been now closed to traffic, much to the chagrin of commuters who used to drive in. But at nighttime you see lots of people running. It's very, very safe. So there are little exercise stands too. You've got exercise bikes down there. And here we're about to, we'll do the bouquiniste afterwards. We'll look at some more of the bouquiniste later. But right now we were on over here. That's the right bank. That's where we have the Hôtel de Ville, or the city hall. And now we're on the bridge right here. And we're about to cross over into the Île de la Cité, or City Island, which is where Paris started. Before we do so, just a quick explanation of where we are. If you look down at the very right of your screen, you can see all those turrets over there. That is a prison where Marie Antoinette was kept. I'm actually going to quiz you about that. What do you think the name of that prison is, where she spent the last 2 months of her life? And we'll talk about that. I'll give you the answer at the end. And then you see the spire. If we keep going this way, you see a spire in your right, on the right screen, and that is the spire of the Sainte-Chapelle. And then this big building right here that I'm focusing on right now, that is an old hospital. It's been there since about 600, and is still in existence as a hospital for anyone, for people who can't afford it to. So we are currently strolling along the bridge, crossing over the Seine, walking towards, have you figured out the name of the prison yet? Nope. Okay, I'm gonna keep you in suspense and see if you can remember it from some of our other talks. So here we're going. Oh, and just very quickly, so here we're going on to Île de la Cité. See, there's a bridge over there. That's another bridge, and that's another island called the Île Saint-Louis, because there are these two principal islands in the Seine. Île Saint-Louis was not developed early. It was developed pretty late. It was pretty rural for a long, long time. So here we go. All right, have you figured out yet what the name of the building is? The one with the turrets? The conciergerie, right? Hôpital Saint-Louis. So we're going straight. We're gonna see how Notre Dame is doing. We know that they've been working on her. So let's find out exactly what's going on. Here we are. Crossing, I think I can, I'm gonna illegally cross because, no one's coming. Here I find, if you want to buy souvenirs, just the cheap kind, this is a good place to find really good prices. Unless things have changed, but I've always found them to be really a good price. Sorry about my finger there. So here we are walking down the street. Oops, I keep putting my finger there. Sorry about that. Walking down the street. Souvenirs. You can see the aprons for 10 euros. You can get some ice creams, glace. I'm sure they have cups. Yep, cup stand. Always delicious. 2 euros for a cup au sucre. It's giving me ideas. More of the cheap tourist places. You get chef hats. Le Quasimodo. Super quiet. We're getting closer, we're getting closer. We can see there are barriers. Morino, I told you about that wonderful ice cream. Well, here's a good picture of one. Yeah, that's typical if you buy one here. Pretty delicious. Cheap things that you can buy that are kind of fun. I mean, who doesn't want an apron, a Paris apron? And we're coming up on Notre Dame, but it's all closed off. I may have to come in from a different angle here. Hard to know sometimes. There's an open air exposition. So of course before the fire, you could just go right through to see Notre Dame. Here you go. We've got, that's the facade. As much as we can see from here. And then we'll see how close we can get. So this is all about the restoration of Notre Dame. I'm going backwards because apparently it starts with the fire. So, and then you can read about all the different things they've been doing to restore Notre Dame, which is pretty cool exposition. Yeah, pretty heart-wrenching sights there. So let's see what we can see. It's still walled off. All this is new to me, clearly, seeing as I haven't been here since, I haven't been here since the fire, have I? Can't go over there, too much water. Here's some Americans. Pardon. Okay, yeah, so this is as close as we can get. They've opened up some of the Parvis. And as you can see, there's some exposition here. There you go. And that's as close as we can get. And you can see here children drawing Notre Dame. So the restoration work is going on as we go by. Looks like the sky's clearing up, which is always a good thing. This gives you a good idea of the doors that we just can't see. So that's the door of the Virgin, the portal of the Virgin. And this is the main portal, main door, the Jugement Dernier, the final judgment. And you see you have Christ on the throne, surrounded by angels, and Mary is praying at his feet. And then what's underneath his feet is the kingdom of God. And then underneath that, you have those who are saved to the left, right? You can see that they're all praying, they have crowns. And those who are damned to the right, and they're being taken by a very scary looking devil. And then you see people rising up, the dead are rising up to be judged, because it's the judgment. So, there you go. And of course you have the disciples on either side, 6 on one, 6 on the other, including Judas. I know the Washington Cathedral does not include him, which I think is very judgmental of them. So, so there you go. This is about all we can see of Notre Dame. I will show you the statue over here. keep walking, and I'll get myself up a little higher so you can see this statue. I don't know if you can see it yet. This is the statue of Charlemagne. Charlemagne and his warriors and his lude. One of them is Roland and the other one is Olivier. And the one who is facing us, the one on foot, who has that big horn, that is Roland, who is legendary from the Song of Roland for having blown his horn to save Charlemagne from being ambushed. Not only that, but by killing all those who could have ambushed Charlemagne. So there you go. This is what you can see now. If you look over to the side here, you can see, I'm going to reduce it again. You can see a crane. You can see, there are many things going on here in Notre Dame, but it's a long ways from being able to welcome visitors inside. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it.